In today's video, we're going to be looking at every single main roster WWE superstar's chances of winning the 2025 Royal Rumble match. And when I say every, I mean every. Male, female, if they're on the main roster, they're in this video, and we're going to analyze the likelihood that they'll win their respective male or female Royal Rumble match. This might be a bit of a long video, so grab a snack or something. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And don't forget, if you want even more daily wrestling content, to come check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, we upload so much more extra content that never gets uploaded here to YouTube. So go check it out, patreon.com/SantiZap. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's start the video. So here are the different categories that we're going to be working with. So we have the no chance in hell. These are the people that I believe genuinely have a 0% chance of winning this year's Royal Rumble. Then we move on to not totally insane. These are people that are close to 0%, but you could maybe create some rationale as to why they were picked to win this year's Royal Rumble, even if it is a complete stretch and fabrication. Then we move on to the maybe category. These are the people that if they were to win the Royal Rumble, it would be a genuine shock, but you would get behind it because there's enough reason and rationale behind the decision. Then we have the contenders. These are the people that you, me, and many people around the world are expecting to actually potentially win this year's Royal Rumble match. These are the people that have been booked very strong going into the Royal Rumble, so if they were to win, it wouldn't shock pretty much anybody. And then we have the favorite, and I only have one favorite for both the men and the women, and I'll tell you who I think that favorite is. Let's start things off with AJ Styles. I feel like under a regular year, he would be higher on this list, maybe getting into the contender category, but this year, because of his injury, there is no indication that he's going to be a surprise entrant in this Rumble. Everything indicates that this injury is a nasty one that's going to take him a long time to fully recover from. So I'm going to say no chance in hell for AJ Styles, as sad as it is to say. A comment from the authors of Pain. I don't really feel like there's much explanation needed. This is a forever tag team guy that's now a background character within a faction that rarely gets TV time. No chance in hell. Tozawa, I love you. I know that you only ever use 5% of your power, and if you were to use 100%, you could potentially destroy the planet. But as it is, the way that Tozawa is being booked, it is no chance in hell. Alba Fire at this point is spending more time in NXT and losing on NXT than spending any time on the main roster, so I don't think it's a stretch to say no chance in hell for her to win the Women's Rumble. I love Alex Shelley, but I just don't feel like anyone from Motor City Machine Guns is a particular favorite to win the Rumble, so no chance in hell. Alexa Bliss, if she does return to the Royal Rumble, she is a threat. She is a known commodity in the main event scene. She could absolutely go into WrestleMania and challenge for a title, and no one would bat an eye. I feel like with the fact that she's a known commodity in the main event, plus the fact that she's returning from a long hiatus, you have to consider her a strong contender. Andrade, all right? Andrade, I want to believe in Andrade, and much of me wanted to put him in maybe, but he is a losing machine recently. He's just being used to enhance talent like Shinsuke Nakamura now, but, you know, I guess not totally insane. Angel Garza, I feel like it's fair to put most of these perennial tag team guys into no chance in hell. Same goes with Angelo Dawkins. Pretty much the same logic here. Perennial tag team guy. In fact, he's out right now. You don't even see him on TV because there is an injury within the Street Profits, so no chance in hell. Apollo Crews is just busy snitching on people. That seems to be his entire shtick on Friday Night SmackDown, but I don't think it's a shtick that's going to be taking him to the main event of WrestleMania anytime soon, fellas. He gets a no chance in hell. Asuka. Okay, so Asuka, just like Alexa Bliss, is a perennial main eventer, is somebody that's gone to WrestleMania and has had championship matches, gone in as the champion, has gone in as a challenger, has gone in as a former Royal Rumble winner, but the booking of Asuka before her injury indicated nothing like this is going to happen anytime soon. So under most circumstances, if it was a regular year, Asuka returning would have to be put into the contender category. But because of the way that she was booked before her injury, I have no choice but to put her at maybe at best. Austin Theory. Okay, under most circumstances, he falls under the perennial tag team guy, no chance in hell. But because there's that like ever looming storyline and feud between him and Grayson Waller, him turning babyface, maybe there's something there, and a Royal Rumble victory is how you finally turn him babyface and catapult him to the moon. It's a stretch, right? I know it's a stretch. That's why it's under not totally insane, because I know it's a a stretch. B-Fab, look, she's mostly a manager. I've enjoyed her time in the ring, but it's no chance in hell. Bayley, last year's Women's Royal Rumble winner. I don't think that she's going to win, but it wouldn't be really responsible for me to tell you that she's anything aside from a contender. This is somebody that is always at the top of the pecking order, regardless of whether she's on Raw or SmackDown. We've seen her win the Rumble before. She's a main eventer. She's a first ballot Hall of Famer. She is always going to be a contender. Berto, tag team guy, you know the drill. No chance in hell. Bianca Belair, even though she falls under the category of tag team guy because she's been in the tag team division for so long at this point and has been holding that shit down firmly, I still think that she's a contender. One, because it's Bianca Belair, for God's sake. Two, I don't see why WWE, if they want to give the moniker of the first ever two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner, I don't see why they wouldn't want to give it to somebody like Bianca Belair, who's such a great representation of the product for them and such a great PR and marketing piece for them as well. But the third one, which I think is the biggest one, she's got like a storyline that's brewing that could lead to a main event spot at WrestleMania. The thing that's going on with Naomi, the stuff with Jade Cargill as well, all of that could lead to a main event for the women's side at WrestleMania. Contender. Bronson Reed, if he wasn't injured, it would be contender, but he is injured, but we don't know when he's coming back. That injury looked pretty bad, but if he is able to come back, I'm going to say he is a contender, but because we don't really think that he's going to come back, I can't really put him in contender, so we're going to put him in maybe. Big E, I know people want to see this so bad, but it's just not going to happen. No chance in hell. Blair Davenport barely gets featured as is, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's not even in the Women's Royal Rumble with how little she gets featured. No chance in hell. Braun Strowman is back, and he's making waves. He's already creating those like memes of face-offs that create WrestleMania main events against Jacob Fatu, and people are excited for the return of Braun Strowman. It's cool to have him back, but I just don't think that he's at that spot where he can be a contender anymore. So the highest I can go here is maybe. Brock Lesnar, if he does come back at the Rumble, I still don't think that he's going to win this. I just don't think that WWE is going to put themselves in the position of giving Brock Lesnar another Rumble victory. No chance in hell. Braun Breaker, on the other hand, even though he's holding the Intercontinental Championship, and I personally don't want to see him win the Rumble yet, because I'd rather see him take this Intercontinental Championship into WrestleMania, develop a WrestleMania feud so that we can get an awesome Intercontinental Championship match at that show. It doesn't matter. He's so dominant and has been booked incredibly dominantly to the point that you have to put him in contender. Brutus, tag team dude, background tag team dude at this point within a faction, no chance in hell. Candice LeRae, look, she's been featured way more than she has over the last like year of being on the main roster. She's had more TV time in the last month than she has in the past 12 months combined. So clearly they're giving her more things. I still don't think that she's a very strong contender in this year's Women's Rumble, but I guess not totally insane. Carlito, this is a no chance in hell. Like, this is a dude that like barely does anything aside from play the PlayStation 5 in the Judgment Day locker room or whatever it is. Is it even a locker room? Is it a clubhouse? What is it these days? No chance in hell. Carmella, listen, just the fact that she's coming back from a long hiatus, and if she does come back at the Rumble, this is somebody that's won major accolades before. I think it's a very, very low likelihood, but I feel like she kind of gets that like boost from just potentially returning at the Rumble. And people, when they return at the Rumble, they have a really strong chance of winning the Rumble or going deep into it. So I'll go maybe. Carmelo Hayes. Look, I genuinely think that Carmelo Hayes is due for a big win in 2025. I don't think that it's the Royal Rumble. I think that it's the King of the Ring. I think that it could be the Money in the Bank briefcase. But if I'm willing to say that Carmelo is capable of winning those two, then why shouldn't I say that he's maybe capable of winning the Royal Rumble as well? It is a stretch based on like when I see the landscape of where the titles are, but I can't say anything aside from contender. It's a low tier contender, don't get me wrong, but if I'm willing to say that he can win those other major things, then I should be able to say that he can win the Royal Rumble too. Chad Gable, I want to say contender. I want to say favorite because he is just so damn good, but I feel like if anything, it falls more closely to no chance in hell, or maybe even just a little bit higher. But look, Chad Gable is so good to the point where he might just become so undeniable. He helped put over Penta. He's been putting people over left, right, and center. Maybe he gets a reward for it. Maybe. If it does happen, the world would probably rejoice. Charlotte Flair. Say it with me, folks. I've said this a million times on this channel. Death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair coming back from injury and winning a championship instantly. What better way to get to a championship match than by winning the Royal Rumble. And just like Bianca Belair, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to give Charlotte Flair the moniker of the first ever two-time women's Royal Rumble winner. And look, we know the match that we want at WrestleMania. It's Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton, and this is one of the ways to get there. She's a contender. Chelsea Green, look, I don't see it, but it would be cool. It would be a shock out of left field, but the highest I can go here is not totally insane, because at the very least, she's booked as a champion, so it's not a zero no chance in hell. Chris Sabin, tag team dude, you know the drill, no chance in hell. CM Punk, the guy that has not won the Royal Rumble, that has not gotten to main event WrestleMania, a guy that's made it clear that his dream is to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania, and he is so incredibly popular right now. People love CM Punk. People want to see CM Punk in the main event of WrestleMania. He's a very credible threat, both in terms of like his legacy, his star power, and how he's being booked going into this Royal Rumble. Folks, he is your favorite to win the Rumble. Literally the only reason why he might not be the favorite is because there's that favor looming around, and a lot of people think that the favor is for Paul Heyman to help CM Punk get to the main event of WrestleMania, and if that is the favor, then he should need to win the Royal Rumble, but still, I can't not put him as the favorite.
Hold on.
This really was the best match, man. Look, wow.
Ooh.
Oh, what a counter.
Bro, this kid is nuts.
Oh, God, nasty meteor. Oh my God. The God.
Oh.
That, folks, was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club offerings, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. A crazy Lucha Underground match between Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma, aka Ricochet. The NXT Match of the Year between Josh Briggs, Dijak, and Obafemi at NXT Stand and Deliver. A bloody classic from over 20 years ago between Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam 2001. And the legendary match between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay at AEW Forbidden Door 2023. You're going to be getting this and more, like the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than everywhere else, the currently ongoing Undertaker WrestleMania match watch-alongs, the Royal Rumble match watch-alongs that we've been doing, and more. So go check it out, patreon.com/SantiZap. So much more extra content that never gets uploaded here to YouTube. So go check it out. Link in the description. Link in the pinned comment. Thank you for your support. Let's get you back to the video. Cody Rhodes, he's not gonna be in the Rumble. He's gonna be champion. No chance in hell. Cruz del Toro, this is obviously no chance in hell, for God's sake. I keep forgetting that he's on the roster. Dakota Kai is now a single superstar. She made it really deep into the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament, lost the final, had a great showing. For that alone, I feel like she goes into the maybe category if they're really serious about making Dakota Kai a major singles player within the WWE Women's roster. Damian Priest, listen, I feel personally like it's a maybe at best, but this guy is booked so strong. He kicks out of everything. He basically no-sells the craziest moves. Remember a couple of months ago when he kicked out of like 3 coup de grace, and one of those coup de grace was to the back of the head? This dude's a monster. He no-sold a coup de grace to the outside through a table. This guy is booked like a complete beast. He is a monster in WWE's creative eyes. Even though I don't see it, the way he's been booked tells me contender. Dexter Lumis, I feel like this is pretty easy. Probably for most members of the Wyatt Six, no chance in hell. Dominic Mysterio, I love it. I love the idea, but I don't see it happening. But because he is blossoming as one of the biggest, most entertaining heels in the WWE, I see the path. I see it as a potential possibility somewhere down the line. In the many multiverses that exist, in one of those, Dominic is winning the Royal Rumble, but I don't think it's this one. Maybe. Dragon Lee, I mean, if it was the Royal Rumble for the Speed Championship, maybe, but this is no chance in hell. Drew McIntyre. Look, to me, Drew McIntyre was on the cusp of getting that favorite moniker, but I am going to put him in contender, and I don't think that that's a shock to absolutely anybody. His storyline of wanting to take out the Bloodline and those that have helped out the Bloodline makes it so that he's going to have to eventually cross paths with Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, both who I wouldn't be surprised are champions going going into WrestleMania. And if one of those stories is for Drew McIntyre to take them out, then a good way to get there for a match between Drew McIntyre and one of those guys for a championship at WrestleMania is to have Drew McIntyre win the Rumble. Contender. That was really convoluted, but you get what I'm saying. Elektra, basically a manager at this point, no chance in hell. Elton Prince, I love Pretty Deadly, but until the musical comes out, no chance in hell. Eric Rowan, just like Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt Six, it's a no chance in hell here, fellas. Eric from the War Raiders also gets a no chance in hell. Finn Balor, I desperately wanted to put Finn Balor into the no chance in hell category because he has no chance in hell of like winning anything at this point. That's how it feels. However, it is still Finn Balor. This is still a guy that at any moment they could flick the switch and say, brother, you're just the main eventer now and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So maybe, but he's just been booked so horribly. Again, I wanted to put him in no chance in hell, but I feel like that would just be wrong. Giovanni Vinci, this one I didn't struggle with. This one is no chance in hell considering he is just a losing machine, but he doesn't even get any TV time, so he even struggles to get time on TV to lose. No chance in hell. Grayson Waller, listen, the same thing that I said about Austin Theory has to take place here. It could involve this greater story of the Austin Theory babyface turn, so totally not insane. Gunther, I should put in no chance in hell because he's going to be the champion, right? And I don't know, bro, because he's got a match against Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event, and I'm not unconvinced, all right? I'm not entirely certain that Gunther is walking out as champion. So I'm going to say totally like not insane that he could be the Royal Rumble winner because he might not have the World Championship come the Royal Rumble. Maybe. Hikuleo signed to the WWE, hasn't appeared anywhere. He maybe debuts at the Rumble. Maybe, I don't know, but he ain't winning on a debut. No chance in hell. Ilya Dragunov, look, he's out. He's injured. And even if he does come back at the Rumble, I don't think the chances of him winning are particularly great. But again, people get that super extra star power when they come back at the Rumble, so maybe not totally insane. Alba Fire, no chance in... Wait, hang on. No, that's Isla Dawn. Got the names wrong. See? This is a problem. All right, no chance in hell. Ivar of the War Raiders, no chance in hell. Ivy Nile, look, this to me really depends on how far they want to push American Made. Maybe they become the new Judgment Day of Monday Night Raw, where they are the ones that get all the TV time, they get all of the opportunities, and if that is on the table, not totally insane. Io Sky, this is somebody that has main evented WrestleMania for the women. She just did it at WrestleMania 40 in that beautiful match against Bayley. She has won major singles accolades, winning the Money in the Bank, winning the WWE Championship, and at this point, she has pretty much convinced everyone that she's one of the best, if not the best women's professional wrestler on the planet. She is fantastic, and she's been putting over people left, right, and center here over the last couple of months, and when I look at the path to Io Sky's WrestleMania, to me, it goes through the Royal Rumble. She is my favorite. Jacob Fatu, listen, I know what the Royal Rumble is going to be if Jacob Fatu is in it. It's just going to be like a dozen different stare downs between Jacob Fatu and Superstar X, where we're all just going to geek out about the future possibility of what that match looks like. Jacob Fatu is also super protected, super strongly booked contender. Jade Cargill, just like Bianca Belair, even though she's been in the tag team division her entire WWE career, she's got that ever like blossoming story of her return and who attacked her, and I do believe that that could be a story that catapults her to maybe winning a WWE Women's Championship, and it could start with a Royal Rumble victory, and she is super powerfully booked contender. JD McDonough, I'm sure he'll probably sell his ass off for somebody, but he ain't winning. No chance in hell. Jey Uso, if he wins the championship, obviously it's no chance in hell, but I don't think that he's gonna win the championship. I think he's gonna be in the Rumble match, but if he's in the Rumble match, his popularity alone catapults him. He has to be considered a contender. Jimmy Uso, on the other hand, is not a contender, but I do put him at maybe because at the very least, he's kind of started this journey of his own singles path, which he has kind of called the shot of maybe going after the United States Championship somewhere down the line, but I don't think that he needs the Rumble for that, so maybe. Joaquin will probably not even be in the Rumble, if I'm being honest with you. No chance in hell. Joe Gacy also gets no chance in hell like the rest of the members of the Wyatt Six. John Cena, listen, I wanted to put him in favor, but I do believe that his story is that he is going to struggle to get a championship opportunity, and I feel like that struggle is going to start at the Royal Rumble. I would not be surprised if he's one of, if not the last person eliminated from this year's Rumble, thus breaking his heart, thus breaking all of our Cena lover hearts around the world. I don't think that he wins, but he's still absolutely 100% a contender in this match. Johnny Gargano Gargano, no chance in hell. Julius Creed, no chance in hell. Kairi Sane, I mean, she's out with injury. Maybe she comes back at the Rumble, and she has been given major singles accolades before, albeit on NXT, and we're seeing everyone from Damage Control kind of going their separate ways. Look, I still think it's a 0% chance, but I think it's like a 0.1% chance that maybe this is like what they use to catapult Kairi Sane into a single stardom. So no, not totally insane, but it's like almost 0%. Carl Anderson, no chance in hell. I mean, he never appears on anything. He doesn't even appear on NXT anymore. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't even know if he's signed. Karrion Kross, maybe. Listen, maybe. Look, he is the leader of a faction that's pretty strongly booked on Monday Night Raw. He just entered into a feud with Sami Zayn, which kind of has him a couple of degrees away from the main event scene. I still think it's a stretch, so maybe. Katana Chance, no chance in hell. Caden Carter, no chance in hell. Kevin Owens, I'm expecting that he's not going to win the WWE Championship ladder match. And if he doesn't, maybe he gets inserted into the men's Rumble. Maybe if he's in the Rumble, because of all of the narratives that are around him that involve Roman Reigns, I think he's a contender. Kiana James, I think she's still out with injury. And even if she was still around, not injured, I'd still put her in no chance in hell. Kit Wilson, no chance in hell. Kofi Kingston, look, I love the heel turn, but they've done nothing with it. They've just sort of been on standby waiting for something to happen. I don't think that something's going to be one of the New Day members winning the Royal Rumble. In fact, I expect that once members of the New Day get into the ring, that they're going to get swarmed because everyone hates them and they're going to get instantly eliminated. No chance in hell. LA Knight lost the United States Championship recently, lost the rematch against Shinsuke Nakamura because of involvement from the Bloodline. I do think that because of all of this Bloodline stuff, that he is in that echelon of people that are involved in the Bloodline saga, which if you're involved in the Bloodline saga, it could mean a championship opportunity. And LA Knight is super popular. We know this. He is a contender, although I don't think he's going to be the one that wins. Liv Morgan, honestly, if she hadn't just gone through this championship reign, I might have her as my favorite because of 2 straight years as the bridesmaid and never the bride, coming second place in 2 straight Royal Rumbles. You would think that the third time's the charm, but because she just came off the back of a long championship reign, I don't think that she's going to win. But that doesn't change the fact that she is absolutely a contender here. Logan Paul, look, I don't want to say contender, but WWE adores Logan Paul. They book him incredibly well, and he's already kind of called this shot that he wants a championship opportunity, that he wants to be the face of the WWE, that he's going to become a full-time WWE superstar. I'll believe it when I see it, but because of all this stuff, I guess contender. Ludwig Kaiser, look, kind of like Dakota Kai, kind of going off on his own, making a name for himself in the mid-card. Maybe that would be like a crazy stretch if they decide to make him the Royal Rumble winner, but the fact that now he's a single star getting some proper TV time going after championships, put this into maybe. Gallows, no chance in hell. Lyra Valkyria, I know she's kind of like higher on the pecking order than like a Dakota Kai because she is the women's intercontinental champion, but it's actually that fact that I think prevents her from going on to do something bigger, because I feel like her job is going to be to make this championship as important and as relevant as possible, and I don't think that the Rumble is the way to do it because it kind of takes the direction off of focusing on the mid-card title and focusing on something else. I'm going to say maybe. Maxine Dupree gets a no chance in hell. Michin, I do believe that Michin has a chance. I feel like you could rationalize it because of how much she's been pushed as a single star. Maybe. The Miz, this is a stretch, but because of his legacy and the I guess the lore that he already brings to the WWE with his former WrestleMania main events, the fact that he's a multi-time world champion, maybe. Montez Ford, I would put in no chance in hell. If he's good to go and he's in the Rumble and he's healthy and Dawkins is injured, maybe this is how you pull the trigger on splitting the Street Profits. Not totally insane, but like close to insane. Naomi has been a perennial contender since coming back from TNA. This is an easy one. It's contender. Natalya, look, I want to say something higher than no chance in hell, but it is no chance in hell. Let's be honest with ourselves. Nia Jax, incredibly dominant. moment, I know that she'll probably have a really strong Royal Rumble. I don't think that she'll win it, but it doesn't change the fact that she's absolutely a contender in this situation. Nikki Cross, no chance in hell. Omos is on some sort of side mission right now in Japan. I think he's a tag team champion in Noah at the moment. Maybe he appears at the Rumble like he just randomly appeared at last year's Royal Rumble, but I don't think that if he does appear that he's going to be making any waves and winning, so no chance in hell. Otis, if they had to maybe pull the trigger on the Chad Gable feud and capitalize on the star power of like that was rising for Otis, then maybe, but at this point, no chance in hell. Penta, look, listen for a second. It's not totally insane. They've rolled out the red carpet for Penta. They gave him promo time. They gave him a great amount of time for his debut match. His merch sales are through the roof. Clearly, they like him at WWE. And honestly, that's enough to say not totally insane. Pete Dunne, look, if your gimmick is don't call me that, like my feelings get hurt if you call me Butch, that's not going to take you to the WrestleMania main event, brother. That's a no chance in hell. Piper Niven, if she is booked like a monster, she can be a main eventer. Right now, she is, the Secret Service bodyguard to Chelsea Green, and I don't think that that's gonna take her to the WrestleMania main event, but we've seen her in the main event scene and she held her own there at Clash at the Castle, maybe. But even this maybe is a stretch. I love R-Truth, but it's a no chance in hell with him. Randy Orton, he's been out for a while, and like I said already in this video, if you've been out for a while, if you're a big star and you come back at the Rumble, there's just a really good chance that you're gonna win it. Honestly, what's holding me back from picking Randy Orton is just the fact that this would make him a 3-time Royal Rumble winner, and I don't see that. I'm honestly expecting a new Royal Rumble winner this year, but doesn't change the fact that the Viper is absolutely a contender. Raquel Rodriguez, look, just the fact that she is as strong as she is, as big as she is, I feel like is going to make it so that maybe she goes deep in this Women's Royal Rumble, but she's a background character at this point, but maybe. Rey Mysterio, I mean, if they want to do one final loss, hoorah for Rey, maybe, sure. I absolutely do not see it, but when you have the legacy of a name like Rey Mysterio, you can't ever say no chance in hell. I'm gonna say maybe. Razar, go back to the start of the video and listen to everything I said about Akam. It all is the same, so no chance in hell. Rhea Ripley, I'm almost certain that she's gonna be the champion going into WrestleMania, so I'm gonna say no chance in hell. The Rock, if he's in it, he's winning. I'm just gonna tell you, if he's in it, he's winning. That's not gonna change. If he's in it, he's going to win the damn thing. I just don't think that he's gonna be in it. That's the problem. That's problem number one, and really the biggest problem preventing me from picking him as the favorite. So I'm going to say contender. But again, remember what I say. If he's in it, he's winning. Roman Reigns. This guy hasn't been in the Rumble for about half a decade now because he's just been at the Rumble event as a champion because he's been a champion this entire time, basically. Roman Reigns is absolutely a contender. In fact, I could see him winning, like very realistically see him winning. You have to put Roman Reigns, no ifs, ands, or buts, in contender. Sami Zayn, I want to maybe put him in maybe, but I feel like he might be a low-end contender because Sami Zayn is booked incredibly strong. I'm going to say contender. Santos Escobar, at this point, I feel pretty confident in saying no chance in hell. Scarlett, no chance in hell. Seth Rollins has every chance, every potential to win this Royal Rumble. I don't think that he wins, but they could do a lot with him in being a Royal Rumble winner because he can go into Mania, challenge Cody Rhodes, and then CM Punk could crash that main event and inserting himself into it because of the favor that Paul Heyman owes him. There are ways to make Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumble incredibly intriguing going into Mania's main events. Contender. Shayna Baszler, if they're serious about pushing PFC, if they're serious about ever reviving the aura of a badass Shayna Baszler, then maybe. Sheamus, I don't see it because he's so focused on the Intercontinental Championship, and I do feel like that's his WrestleMania path ultimately, and the Rumble isn't needed to get to that path, but this is Sheamus, a former Royal Rumble winner, somebody that can be a known commodity in the main event, somebody that's not been in the main event for a while, so maybe this is the way to put him back in if somebody at WWE desperately wants to do that. Maybe. Shinsuke Nakamura, the rebirth of Shinsuke Nakamura has been really the antithesis, the topic of the last couple of months there of 2024 and the start of 2025. It's a maybe. He is a former Rumble winner, and maybe they want to try again. I don't see it, but it's a maybe. Shotzi, she's busy over on NXT, having decent matches actually on NXT. No chance in hell though. Solo Sikoa, you know, when you are in the position that you are within the bloodline narrative, you will be a contender. Absolutely, Solo is a contender here. Sonya Deville, I think that this is a pretty fair no chance in hell. Tama Tonga, look, I know he's in the bloodline, but he's a background character within the secondary bloodline. I love Tama Tonga, he's great, but I do think it's no chance in hell. Tiffany Stratton, I'm gonna say no chance in hell because I think she's keeping this championship. I don't think that she loses it to Bayley, so I'm gonna say no chance in hell. Tommaso Ciampa, busy with the tag team division, busy in NXT's tag team division now. No chance in hell. Tonga Loa, you know, I should put this in favor. I should put this into, like, he's the lock to win it, but he's injured. Everyone's lucky that he's injured. Otherwise, this guy would 100% be winning, but because of the injury, no chance in hell. Tyler Bate, if he's able to come back from injury, that's great, but even if he does come back from injury, brother, it's no chance in hell. Uncle Howdy, I've put every member of the Wyatt Six into no chance in hell, except Uncle Howdy. I feel like because he's the leader of this faction, that maybe in some world, in some way, shape, or form, there's a story for Uncle Howdy to go face off against Gunther, who kicked out and destroyed poor Giovanni Vinci from his group. Maybe that's the story that they want to tell. Not totally insane. Just like Kofi Kingston, I feel like the second Xavier Woods gets in the Rumble, everyone's going to swarm him and eliminate him. No chance in hell. Zelina Vega is too damn good. Too damn good to not at some point do something with her. Everybody wants to see Zelina Vega get her big moment. She's one of those veterans in the women's division that has not gotten her big moment. This would be a shock if she were to win, but everyone would be behind this decision. And because so many people are rallying behind Zelina Vega maybe being a Women's Royal Rumble winner, contender. And Zoe Stark, basically what I said about Shayna Baszler, if you're serious about treating Zoe Stark as a badass like you were at the beginning of her call-up from NXT, if you want to revitalize her name, if you want to actually do something with PFC, then maybe. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Get out of here.